I turned it. And the mouse is under the mic. It's like 4 inches from it. Good morning, Nick. Is that better? Too loud? Not loud enough? I don't fucking know. Didn't sleep in today, huh? I should have expected that. Well, that's cool. Well, I'm glad you're hanging out, watching my stupid ass. See if some other folks jump. It looks like there's 2 people on the stream. Give it a little bit of time. I'm still pretty early. It's funny how sensitive this fine mic is. It picks up everything. You being able to hear that's crazy to me. I can hear through the headphones as well. Man, is your Discord app working? Mine won't work. Like it freezes up like this every time I try to use it now. I try to post something to let people know that we're over here because last time one of the fellas ended up posting for us and then the stream got pretty busy. But I can't get over there. So if you can get to it, let me know. Who all is on the stream right now? You forgot to put the memory card in. So technically, you just talked to your camera. You didn't record anything. I've done that before too, actually. Been in the middle of talking, and then looked over and saw that my SD card was still in the card reader. It happens. All right. Is anyone else in the chat? There's 3 people on. Luckily, the audio is terrible, and I can still. Okay. I'm guessing Yuma isn't. Five people on. 5 people on. 1 in the chat. It sounds like a weird. Good morning, Reed. Now it's down to 3. Cool stuff. Yeah, give it 4 more minutes, and I'll jump into some of the nonsense I had to talk about, and then we'll just hang out, talk some shit. How are you doing, Reed? Hello, Anthony. Nice. Adulting away. Adulting. It's weird that that word adult was kind of corrupted with other things, obviously. Thanks, Nick. But yeah, adulting. It could easily just be like you're doing chores and paying the bills, but it can also mean that, you're watching pornography. One or the other. No nasty adulting for you today. Just pure doing adult stuff, paying bills, putting in the work. Hello, Meat Puppet. Well, that's cool. Congratulations on big boy status. They're all the crew is hanging. I'm stoked on it. And give it a little bit longer and see if anyone more jumps on at 10 o'clock. I'll start going over a bunch of mess. I just have a few things that I wanted to get into and share, and then something to do just to kill time and have some fun. 1 minute. What time is it where everyone is? I feel like we're all kind of all over the place. Nick is an hour behind, so it's just now 9 a.m. there. Anthony, I think you're in Ohio, so it's actually about to be 10 a.m. there. Reed, I'm not certain. I think, are you in that area too? 9, okay. So you're an hour back. 11 a.m. 11 p.m. Saturday. Wow. Okay. Your day, it's almost over with for you. 30 minutes from now, it is over with. All right. It's 10 o'clock. We're going to get into it. So, anyways, thanks for hanging out. If you are watching this after the stream, thanks for having watched it. Hopefully it went well. I don't know. Anyhow, I figured we'll start it off with sharing some stuff that someone who is typically part of this community, what they do. So let's see here. Boom. So this is Aaron from Baritone Cult. He released a new song yesterday, I believe, and it's called GAD. I'm not sure if that's is that the name or if it's referring specifically to the tuning it's in which case GAD is wild. But GAD, it's pretty cool. The video is also cool. A lot of weird sci-fi stuff happening there. I think Kevin Antrician from Dillinger Escape Plan mixed and mastered this for Aaron. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely go check it out because it's really cool. And he is part of the crew here. Often you'll see Baritone Cult. Or if you see something about property management down there, it's usually Aaron as well. So he has two different profiles. One is Baritone Cult, which is a YouTube channel, and his band, which I believe share the same name. And then the other property management one is clearly his business or his business. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, Aaron's got cool stuff up. figured it's worth sharing it with the group here and anyone who watches it later. It seems like a lot of these videos have been getting more views down the line. So anyhow, go support Aaron, or at least check him out. Baritone Cult, subscribe to him, all that sort of stuff. But he's got some fresh music up. Anthony, if you hit me with the link in your thing, I will put that up. Let me see if I can navigate to it. It's weird doing that with being on the stream at the same time. So let's see. And then also stuff I've been listening to, because we got into this last week. If you have not checked them out, this band, Whores, is awesome. Premier Guitar did a very lengthy rig rundown for them a couple days ago, but if you're not familiar with them, check it out. It's like noise rock stuff, kind of similar to Helmet, kind of similar to Unsane. There's some elements of stuff there. Got a little bit of the Albini vibe going on. So definitely worth checking out. Super cool band. A lot of non-traditional use of certain amps and guitars. Dude usually uses Esquires and uses a ton of different fuzz pedals and stuff in combination with these old plexi heads, and gets these crazy huge sounds that you would not think come from a rig of that style. Just doesn't seem like that guitar and that amp would make that sound, but it's cool. The combination of stuff he uses is pretty amazing, and he gets really good sounds. There is nothing on that one for anyone. Yeah, so I'll get back to this, shut off that, and back up there. Yeah, they're great. They're great. Aaron's great. Everybody's doing cool stuff. Figure I'll do a productivity update, since that was kind of part of the conversation last week. Is that the main reason that a lot, Nick and Bun and myself are kind of taking some time away from which call it bandless, is to do stuff. So I did a video this week. This is me doing the second video for the week. So 2 weeks in a row of a consistent live stream at the same time. So that's progress in a certain way. As far as other stuff, let me see here. Does it sound like I'm beating the shit out of someone? Because my microphone is right next to my keyboard. So. All right. So this week, and then I'll get back to everyone, and you guys can tell me what you did. Hello, Development of a Void. Hey, are there Saturday morning cartoons anymore, Anthony? So my progress for the week is I got the audio portion, or the instrumental portion, of 2 Ohio Faust songs done. So I plan to record vocals to those in the next few months. Like I mentioned last week, I still have almost a full record of Close the Hatch material to record vocals to. So I have a lot of crap to do, but I did get some stuff done. I added a few more songs to the background jams file that is on what you call it, Dropbox. And I feel like I've given this away before, or at least, allowed people to have it. But I'll figure that out here shortly. I think my Dropbox is Paul's, though. So let's see if I can get a link going, and if I can get that to all of you. So I don't know if that works. If you could get to that and that link works for you, you are welcome to snag any of the jams that are in there. Those are all like just background music I made for YouTube videos. Feel free to take it and use it. I guess you're right. You are right. There are more cartoons. Technically, there are a lot more options, and you can get whatever you want. Hey Arnold. Speaking of old cartoons and stuff, if you're a Mac user, the OpenEMU thing works for M1 now. If you want to play some old school video games, I got this silly NES or SNES looking controller that I used for doing that. But downloaded most of the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis catalog. It's been fun to go back through all that stuff. So yeah, otherwise in the progress department, I just did school stuff. But yeah, I've been working on Close the Hatch material. I got 2 songs done musically for Ohio Faust, and I've done a video this week and the stream, and we did the stream last week. So trying to keep the progress coming. Has anyone else gotten anything done this week? Ooh, you got some A string stuff coming, Anthony? Hello. I'm going to turn this caption off because it's weird. All right. I'll hang out in the chat for a minute. And then get back into some other crap. I'm not as organized with this as I should be. You just got back from a 2-week vacation. Where did you go on vacation? Or did you just stay at your house? That's awesome. I'm glad you were getting back to it. It's nice to see everyone doing things. Oh, you went to Colorado? My sister lives in Colorado. Not that that has anything to do with you saying that you went there. That's like me saying, do you know, well, I know somebody that went there once. Yeah. Colorado's cool. What part of Colorado did you go to? It's been a rough week for Nick. Nice. Steamboat Springs. That sounds like adult material. Steamboat Springs. If a motorboat's a motorboat, then what's a steamboat? Colorado is super dope. All joking aside, you are correct, Nick. The lack of humidity, lots of nice surroundings. It's just a good time. Lots of hiking, lots of delicious food. Really ridiculous airport that's not actually in Denver, but they call it a Denver airport. Pete's Tacos in Denver is stellar. Lots of delicious marijuana treats. Yeah, hiking is dope. There's also great music venues there. You got Red Rocks and such. And as yes, correct read. Good pot treats. Airbnb location. Yeah. My sister and her husband live out there. I have a couple other bits of family that live out there. So yeah, don't necessarily want to stay with any of them. I'm happy to go to dinner with them and such. Not don't want to live there. Dude, the mountains are cool for sure. Sometimes just getting out and walking around a bit, getting out in the fresh air is nice. The last time I was in Denver for my sister's wedding, my wife and I went out, and then we stayed in an Airstream Airbnb and like this Masonic lodge thing that was out in the middle of nowhere in a completely different town. I think I had like a population of 700. It was kind of desert-esque, even though it was in Colorado. Yeah, pretty amazing. And we ate and stayed baked most of the time. As a matter of fact, I made a really poor decision and ate probably close to 200 or 300 milligrams of edibles prior to going back on the plane to Detroit. Wasn't fun for me, highly entertaining for my wife. walking in general is good. I mean, it's good for you, but I've found sometimes that's the best thing to like create a sense of isolation. Like you just put headphones in, listen to a podcast, listen to music, whatever it is you're wanting to do. Listen to the sound of babies screaming. I'm not seagulls, and then you just walk around. It's nice. Kind of can live in your own head for a bit, deal with your emotions, deal with your crazy thoughts. Try not to kill people. Maybe think about killing people. I don't know what you do inside your brain, but it's nice. Pardon my weird throat clearing noise. That was disgusting. Oh boy. So I thought it would be fun to fuck around with the Balaguer Guitar Creator and kind of get some input from you fellas. So I'm going to pull that up and then we will get into it. All right. So I don't know if any of you guys have messed with this too much, but it's pretty sweet. You get let's see here. You can go through pretty much everything they make and kind of create whatever you want. So I'm going to go into the guitar thing here and then we will start making a guitar. I don't know if any of you guys mess with this. I'd be curious. But I'm going to kind of build out a baritone and spec it out a little. I pull this into full screen so I can see it better. So I've been digging offset stuff lately. I kind of like the Thicket because it's like a mixture of the offset and a telly. So we'll jump into that. Let's see if I can set up my iPad via Sidecar so I can have another screen going here outside of the one I'm on. Let's see. Yep. All right. Yeah, the base model they're pretty expensive. So let's build it out. I'm just gonna build it out how I would buy it, and we can decide if it's ridiculous in price or not. So I am right-handed. Construction method. Do we do bolt on, set in, whatever? I'm gonna do bolt on because it's fine. 6 strings, sure, why not? Tunings and gauges, custom. I'm gonna do 14, 8, 8 flat. Not doing multi. We will do 28 and a half because apparently 28 and a half is not an option in this model, but 30 is and 27 is. 30 it is. Fuck it. That seems weird to me. No. You played around with it, did one of the offsets. Yeah, man, I just, there's something about them lately that's been doing it for me. I'm a Telly fan, so something that's kind of the middle ground between it. It's cool. Contour. I like the flat. Construction, solid body. Yeah, I don't need chambering or F-holes. Top wood. Man, none. No veneers. Core wood. Going with mahogany. And solid colors. Let's go with something ridiculous. We're going to go with pink. binding, black binding. Why not? If we're going to be ridiculous, let's get way ridiculous. Finish, satin, no matte, like satin matte, whatever you want to call it. No gloss from me. Headstock, man, I don't know. This matching, maybe, yeah. What about that? It's kind of ugly. That headstock is not cool. I kind of like the reverse stuff. About that. That's kind of unique. Whatever. I'm not actually ordering it, so it doesn't matter. It's just fun to mess around with it. That's cool looking. Neckwood. I'm going roasted maple. I'm all in on roasted maple anymore. Fretboard wood, roasted maple. If you don't have a roasted maple guitar, you need to get one. It feels and plays so much better. Pardon my ice noise. All right. Number of frets. Truss rod excess. Headstock. Always at the headstock. So much easier. Number of frets. 24. Fretboard inlays. Offset dots. Black. Side dots. Lumen lay. If we're going to go in, let's go in. Dude, roasted maple is the jam, or caramelized maple, depending on which version of it you're messing with. It's the same thing, but yeah, they're just much more sturdy. They feel better. They sound better. Your notes ring a little brighter, as silly as that sounds. There's just something about it. It also is structurally more sound because it's all of the sap and stuff that's in the wood is caramelized into it to aid in the structure. It's cool. Yes, I believe Nick is doing a video on one of the Squires with the roasted maple neck. It's worth it. It's almost worth it to buy those guitars just to get it. They do a version of it. I don't know if it's actually maple, but they've got some sort of darker wood that they're using and calling it a roasted finish. So, fretboard binding, we're doing it all black, the whole thing. Hardware color, black. Going black. Black. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. Do we do Evertune or do we do Hip Shot? I'm curious in general. So I'm gonna go hip the Evertune. Why not? Black bridge. Okay, we already did that. Pickups. I'm a passive dude. Bridge position. Humbucker. Go with these. No, I won't go with those. Those are too high output for me. Deal with that later. Pickups. Humbucker. I'm gonna go with these Guitarmery pickups. I guess it doesn't really matter for the sake of what I'm doing. But anyways, I'll call it Foxbat, whatever. And pickups active, neck position, P90. I'm way into P90s in the neck. I'm gonna use the Balaguer. That's where I'm headed with it. Pickup rings, bridge pickup ring, black. Control, stripping it down. Nothing going on. Knobs. I like speed knobs. People give me shit about it. I just like them. So that's what I'm at. $2,300 for a 30-inch baritone with an Evertune, single knob, P90s. I kind of dig it. I think it's pretty sweet, honestly. I think it looks awesome. It's pretty sweet. I kind of want to see it in a different color. Do the purple. Black binding. That's solid. How about this guy? It's a little too, what you call it, Chapman looking. Sparkle. Let's get really ridiculous. That's terrible. No one should ever do that to anything. Just don't do that to guitars. Let's go fuchsia. Super bright. Love it. You want the pickguard back. All right, pickguarding it up. Black pickguard. I think it looks weird with the pickguard. I'm not sure why I got Boston-y for a second. Looks weird with the pickguard. It's cool. It's growing on me now that I'm just looking at it. It is a sweet layout. Now if I only had $2,300 to burn. All right, I'm going to start over. Let's do it again. We'll do it from the beginning. Build your own. Let's build a custom bass. Fuck it. Let's get wild. Just going to be honest, most of these are pretty ugly. Going to go with this guy if we're going to get ridiculous. I don't know. I kind of like the Goliath. It's jazz bass looking. I'm into jazz basses. Dexterity, number of strings, 4. Let's do 4. No fretless. Scale length, 35. Let's go all in. It won't let you do 35 on this bass. That's fucked up. So let's try a different one. Wonder what model will let me do the Fusion. Will the Fusion let me do it? None of them are letting me do the 35. Well, let's just assume I can add $50 to it and do it, because neither here nor there. Model, contour. I kind of do the contour on the bass. Construction. No. Who does chambered basses? That's crazy. Solid all the time. Core wood. I'm going to go with a roasted ash, or I don't have a... Ash is cool. Color. Solid. Like blue, fuck it. No binding. Oh, what other headstocks are there? That's wild looking. I don't know how I feel about it. It's kind of cool, actually. I don't know. Not sold on the headstock. This one's cool. It's the same thing. That just looks like an Ibanez. Just do the reverse. Screw it. I actually dig that. I think it looks cool. First headstocks for everybody. Neckwood. Roasted maple. Gonna do it. Go all in. Truss rod access. Headstock. The back of the neck. Yeah. Fretwood. Roasted maple. That actually looks bad on here. What other options do we have? Purple heart. That's ridiculous looking. Ebony it is. Yeah, the reverse headstocks are nice. You're right, Reed. Yeah, that does. It looks like the orange bass. Those basses are kind of a unique shape. I'm not sure how much I like them, but they sound good. Fretboard inlays. Let's do blocks if we're gonna do it. Perloid. That's pretty baller. No fretboard binding. Hardware color. I'm okay with the chrome on this. Maybe nickel instead. Not that made much difference. Pickups. Wrist position. This. Yeah, whatever. Going with that setup. I think it's more versatile. And control pattern. Tone. Dark glass tone capsule. Pickguard unavailable with the tone capsule. So, yeah, that's ridiculous. Too much. Two volume, one blend. Seems like it would be fun. Get our Pickguard back. Black. Or white. I don't know. The white Pickguard looked good. Or aged white. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, 34 standard bass scale. I have a Squire jazz bass that's set up in A flat that works just fine with that tuning. But with the gauges and the bridge has been moved back a little bit, so technically that compensates a bit. But you can do it. Most basses are 34, even 5 strings are 34, so it's not too uncommon. But 35 would be more ideal for tuning that low. Get a little bit more tension. I think I've covered it before on the channel. If I haven't set it on one of these in a while, definitely if you're someone who's looking for a cheap bass that is 35 and you don't want to spend a ton of money and you're not that concerned with the looks, PV makes a bass called the Grind series basses, and we'll pull that up while I'm sharing the screen here with you. So these basses are all 35 out of the box. They come in 4, 5, and 6 string. You can usually find them pretty inexpensive. On average, they're like $200 to $300. So this one's going for about €4 in euro, it looks like. But anyways, yeah, if you're someone who is interested in getting a bass that is 35 inches in scale and don't want to spend a ton of money, these are extremely well made. They're all neck through, and they make a bolt-on version too that's a little bit cheaper. But these standard wood ones that are neck through are amazing. And the pickups, I believe, are Bartolini's or some version of a thing that's supposed to be like a Bartolini. And they sound great. Used it all on the last Close That record. Almost all of the bass was a PV grind. And then there are some Warwicks on that record. And they honestly sound distinguishable. So this is something to look into if you want one of those super long scale basses and don't want to spend a buttload of money. So yeah, we're checking out. Anyways, back to building stuff. Bearwood looks good. All right. Let's build another guitar. It's more fun. Oh yeah. I guess I can't reset this, can I? Or I can just change the shape. That looks sweet as hell too. That's awesome. I don't know. I like fugly on it. I'll be honest. I super dig this. I think I would change the headstock to be more of this style with an RD shape. Yeah, way into that. Super ugly. I dig it. This is kind of a combination of the two, right? They're like the inverse of that. I don't dig that one as much. At least not in that color. The Hyperion's cool. I love RDs and R2s and stuff. The Grind is ugly, but I can guarantee you it will sound really nice. And with it being all neck through construction, it's really well made. The bridges are super adjustable. Individual saddle pieces too, like more modern style. They were pretty ahead of their time. Definitely ugly, but they definitely sound great. And they are worth fucking with. Let's get real ridiculous. Hard pass on all guitars these shapes. This is interesting. Espada. That rules. I'm into that. See the reverse headstock back on it again. Natural. Yeah, that's sweet. I think my cat just farted. Either way, that on fire. That's cool. You're right. Development of a void. That's very funny. Yeah, like a weird blunt RD. I don't know. I dig it. I dig all the offset stuff. It's fun. Growler is a more traditional offset. That's still cool. Not too far off from the other one. What is this? Astra. Yeah, that does nothing for me. Enigma. This is ugly as hell. This is super ugly. That's gross. Kind of cool, but also super gross. I feel like this is the one. Like that. Getting the Pickguard back on there. Yeah, that's the. So, I feel like we lost some money on it somehow. I'm not sure how that happened because it was more expensive when we did this last time. Either way, that's pretty sweet. I would actually play that and be stoked about it. Neck profile. Thin D. Thin D is like similar to the what's called the compound radius that's on the what's called gym root. I think it's the only thing I think I've played in the recent years or so that was D. So that's cool. Can you get it 28? Like this is the thing. Like you have all these options, but you can't get them on certain guitars. But you can get the 30-inch there. This is kind of weird. Like I'm on it. Let's see. Let's view the summary. Okay, it'll let you do it. 28.5 Evertune. Comes with a gig bag. Fair enough. But yeah, that's not a terrible price for a completely customized guitar. If you just, wanted to build one out exactly how you want it, that would be the way to do it. And I'd play this. No problem. All right. I think Halo does something similar. We'll look that up and see if they still have theirs. Pull up their custom thing. Sure. Theirs look like you can get a little bit more wild with them. That what the fuck? That's ridiculous. I'm going with this. Okay, so right off the bat, this is disgusting looking, and not in a good way. So dexterity, same shit. Construction method, bolt. Stop it. Lots of this. Bolt on, number of strings, 6, scale length. This is the same thing, just a different company. So, all right. Shape. There's more options. Defeater, which is R2 or D2 or whatever. RD, D2, R2, whatever. Robots. Dude, I had a sponsorship from Halo. It would have been like 2005, 2006 when they first started. And the only thing that kept me from ordering anything is because at the time, this whole bottom section was all of the shapes they offered. And none of those do anything for me. The guy that I was playing with ended up ordering one that later on, this Octavia shape. And this was also part of the original lineup. He ordered an 8-string that was an Octavia. And I ordered an 8-string Ibanez Prestige, the first run. And we thought we were both going to play 8 strings. And then, fun story, Halo made his custom guitar, and you can still find it. It was a white Octava or Octavia or whatever it is with a Kaler trim. And it was one of the first Kaler trims on an 8-string. And then they took it to all of the shows. So, like, Muskegee and NAMM and all. They did all that stuff after the guitar was built, but it was supposed to come to us within 8 weeks, and instead it went around the world to all these trade shows and stuff before it made it back to us, which took about a year and a half. So by the time it got back to us, I had already sold my 8-string because I just wasn't playing it other than to sit and play along to my Sugar records in my bedroom. So anyway, we'll go back to building this. No chambering, no chambering. Contour. I don't think you can contour this. Color. Top color. No solid. I got even crazier light colors here. Call this. I'm a sucker for tropical turquoise. We are going to get rid of this burst bullshit. No bursts. No binding. Perfing. What is this? Oh, gross. Don't do this to your guitars. Herringbone perforating. No graphics. Finish. Satin. Oh, whoa. Open pore satin all day long. That's awesome. Not that you can see it in the thing, but. Dude, I feel like that could be pretty cool, actually. You gotta respect the dude who plays the, Bo Diddley guitars. I mean, including Bo Diddley, of course, but, like, still, like, it's a ballsy move. Neck back color. Natural. Open pore satin. Neck profile. Thin C. This is cool that they give you more neck profiles because that other one was limited to 2. You've got a lot of stuff to go with here. Pretty cool. Inlays. I like these side dot ones. Like, you can also upload custom stuff here, which I think is cool. So if you got like a custom piece of artwork, you can upload it and they'll make an inlay out of it. Bigsby is cool, but also not cool. Luminlay, always Luminlay. You want to be able to see stuff. I wish I owned something with those already. No binding, no perfing, nut. Tusk is fine. Save, whatever. All right, head shape. Jesus, these are ugly. These are all disgusting. Oh boy, that was the lesser of the evils here. I guess I'm going with this. That's horrible. Don't do that to people. These are all really bad. Like, there's not one of these that look good. This is a bummer. Okay. This looks stupid. There's no way that I can pick anything on here and it's not going to look stupid. It's so ridiculous. And it's only $3,000 so far, so that's really cool. You can get this hideous piece of shit for $3,000. I'm sure it'll play very well, but it'll look terrible the whole time. What does this do? You got to be kidding me. I don't know what's happening here. This is horrible. Just horrible. Wow. Why? Why such ridiculous shapes? All right, well, that's where I'm at with it because these are all ugly. There's no way to make this good. Angled. Yeah. Hardware color. Yeah, black, whatever. Bridge. No. This is actually, you can do the Evertune for the telly route. Wonder what that looks like. Not good. It doesn't look good. I'm sure it would be cool though. This is all weird, man. I'm gonna go with that. This is the stupidest looking thing. All right. Tuners, whatever. I feel like these guitars are much more expensive than the others. Like at least $400 or $500 more expensive. It seems to be using the same software too. Whatever. Doesn't really matter what it looks like. Let's go Dimebucker. Why not? Let's get real stupid. Yeah, this does nothing for me. Just being honest. Like, this headstock bums me out so much I would never order anything from them. It's still the same. I feel the same as I did years ago. Like, they make really weird choices with the shapes and stuff. Unless you want something that's super metalled out, and in which case, go nuts. Not for me. I like more random, traditional looking stuff. Like, this is super futuristic, modern looking in comparison, but it's a nice take on a pre existing shape without getting crazy. And that headstock is baller. Like, it looks good. It doesn't look shitty, and it doesn't look super pointy and BC rich down. So this would be what I would go with. So that was that. That was something. Let me go back into Restream. Come on, man. I'm not sure what's happening here. Really cool. Restream and Chrome have both froze up on me now. Very awesome. So I'm sharing. All right, we're back. And I'm going to turn off Sidecar and bring you guys back to the front of my face. Disconnect. Okay. It should be normal now. No? You got menu background? I'm not seeing anything weird now. I think I turned everything off. If you're not hip to the sidecar thing yet, and you got an iPad or a current gen iPad or any of that stuff, pretty baller. You can do it with your phone too, but it's a really easy way to get a second screen. In this instance, it was helpful because I could put the chat on the iPad and have the stuff I was looking at up here and be able to tinker around a bit. How much do you all think it would cost to make? I'm not sure what World Music Co. is, so maybe inform me a little bit more there. I feel like I should know what that is. I don't know. I don't know. I have a handful of custom instruments, and they're all great. I feel like the ones that I've been building myself, I get a little bit more attached to. So that's kind of where I'm at anymore. Like, there's some great guitars out there, pre-made stuff, but if you're gonna get custom and truly custom, and you have access to the people that can help you do the luthier work, if there needs to be any sort of crazy stuff done to it, then I would just suggest building one yourself because it's gonna be more cost effective, and you can really pick apart what you want. Schecters are all right too. Schecters, I think Schecter and ESP, or the LTD line, like the cheaper version of ESP, they share the same factory, which is why you see a lot of the same colors on them. I believe the same can be said about Ibanez, but I'm not 100%. I know a few of them share the same warehouse in Indonesia and same production facility, so that's why you see a lot of the same finishes and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I've owned Schecters. They've all been nice. No complaints about them at all. Actually, I have a buddy of mine is a Schecter endorsee, and he's really happy with them. Right? Yeah, I get what you're saying, Anthony. I don't know. I think in those states, my thing is like just stick with things like Guitar Fetish and Warmouth, and then kind of pick what you want and like how you want to build stuff out. And you should be able to build whatever guitar you want at a reasonable price, or just keep your eye out for different custom stuff like this guitar, which Nick has one very similar also the guitar that it's about to knock over. Which I've done a video on this before, but that body I think I got because it's claimed to have been blemished, which I've yet to find. And if there is a blemish at this point, I've probably caused it. But that body was about $55 prior to shipping. I paid just about as much for the bridge as I did the body. And the pickups, both $29 each, I think, at the time. Knobs and electronic portions, I ordered this pull tab from Amazon for like $12. The rest of this was all, and the knobs were from Amazon. I don't remember how much I paid for those, but the rest of this was all Guitar Fetish stuff. The back panel piece was Guitar Fetish. This Guitar Fetish, the knobs are these like DiMarzio clip style stuff. And man, I don't know. The neck is the show of this guitar, but roasted maple, and yeah, it was in the super deals thing on Warmouth a couple years ago, like the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, and I got it for like $250, I think, which is an incredible deal. 28 and 5/8, amazing standard thin C. But this is a completely custom guitar, and I think if I add up everything, it was still less than $600 for all of it, and the vast majority of the cost was in the neck. But that's the most important part, in my opinion. Like the neck has to feel good and play good with whatever it's mounted to. Otherwise, you're probably not going to take to it, and you're probably not going to play it. Hello, Ernesto. Let's see here. And then we got this guy, which this is a Rosser body, Starcaster copy. It's a thin body Starcaster, so I don't know if you're familiar with Starcasters, but they're typically quite big. Not just this way, but also this way. They're usually pretty like hollow body style. This one was completely just wood. It's a pine base with a mahogany veneer, and it was natural. And then I painted it green, and then painted it black, and then sanded it down. And it sat for several years, and then I refinished it in this cool light purple, which is actually spray paint. So it's spray paint, sanding, and spray paint sanding. I think there's 5 layers of paint and sand, and 5 layers of matte finish and sand. And the reason you're able to see the wood grain in there, I'm not sure how well this is showing up on camera, looks like it is that I did stain it a darker color at some point, and that darker stain kind of lived in the grain, even though I sanded it. Like the grain held on to some of the black, so that actually made it show in the wood a little better. Same pickups here. I mean, different. It's not the single coil in the neck, but let's call it the Dream 180. Again, $30 each. Clear knobs, Amazon again. Hole filler, 10 millimeter. If you're looking for something to fill hole cavities on a guitar, they're always 10 millimeter. Hipshot copy. This is not a real one, but you can't tell at all. $29. Hello, Barry. This was also on Amazon. This guitar is mostly Amazon, with the exception of the body and the neck and the pickups. So otherwise, yeah, Guitar Fetish pickups, Pickguard or pickup rings. I can't fucking speak today. The pickup rings were also from Amazon. They're actually a little bit too big, but I kind of dig it. This neck was on Reverb, and it is a Stevie Ray Vaughan Strat copy neck, and it is a weird radius that I've never played anything like before. It is like a combination of a vintage C and a modern C. And I think they call it like a 9.5. Either way, supposedly to Stevie Ray Vaughan specs. But this guitar neck was $89, and it plays every bit as well as that Warmoth one that was almost $300. So if you look for the right deal, you will find a thing. And in this instance, somebody had already owned this neck and done all the finishing work, so there was nothing that was needed. So less than $500 to do this whole guy from start to finish, completely custom. Sounds great, plays well, and I don't know, man. There's something about actually doing the work yourself and assembling something that just makes you much more connected to it. Man, I dig the clear knobs. So some folks give me a hard time for them, but I like them. This guy is a parts guitar. This is a made in Mexico telly body. That was just a straight up MIM Mexican telly body, and the bridge is original. Different pickups. These are guitar. That's a guitar finish pickup. The little puncher. This is an actual 74 wide range that I had. The neck is a Squier Telecaster neck from a Squier Bullet from the 90s, and I've sanded it down a bunch. It's lived on several guitars, but yeah, Pickguard came from Warmoth, and this has been rerouted because this was originally just a standard Telecaster, so it has all the electronics would have been down here like a traditional Telecaster. And with the help of my buddy Jeff Newell, we routed it out and turned it into this weird Tele custom, monster thing. It's a very heavy guitar. It's probably one of the heaviest guitars I have in general. But it is, again, a parts guitar. I just assembled it out of random parts. This would be much more expensive, though. I think this would be around the $700 range to do this. But it works well. It stays in tune. I will say that the original tuning keys that came with the Squier, because this is an older neck, those tuning keys have shit out on me 2 or 3 times. Like, I've replaced it with cheaper ones. So now I have like the highest in Wilkinson tuning keys you can get. I think they were $40 on Guitar Fetish. And it stays in tune. Like, if I pick it up at any point and play it, it's usually still in tune. But again, crazy. Surf Green, man. Yeah, man. I'll do like, I can do like Zoom consultation stuff too. I talked about it in the last thing, but that's something I'm getting into now, is the consultation thing. Or if you just want somebody to help you out, happy to do that. Just hit me up. You can email me at gearstuffandthings@gmail.com and just let me know what you're wanting to do, and I can set up a time for you. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate you hanging out. If anyone else is still on here, it looks like there's 4 of you. I'm not sure who all is still here. Nick, Anthony, Reed, Ernesto, whoever is on here, let me know, and we'll keep it going. But I can wrap it up if you want. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Ernesto, hit me up and we will work something out. Send me an email. Anyways, yeah, also a parts build. Can't recommend that enough. Build stuff. As far as like wacky custom stuff, I've paid the high dollar stuff to have, big custom jobs like this made. This is the 3rd one of those. This was the 1st one I ever ordered, but the 3rd, I guess, EGC. I've owned 3 of them. But this is 27.5 inch scale. Stainless steel aluminum neck. This is aluminum body. It's hollow, and I've kind of gone over this in a video before, but the pickups are actually mounted onto the neck. The body is almost purely aesthetic, just basically a cavity for the controls. But this is an EGC baritone. It is a what you call it? I've not had any issues like that, Reed. I'll pull your thing up and we'll get back into the guitar. But no, I have not had any problems with that. I have heard of other folks having it. Now I know like their Jazzmaster and Jaguar shapes are completely different dimensions than say a Squire or a Fender one. So if you order those, you're going to get issues. So just take that into consideration. Their offset stuff is different. As far as the rest of it, no, I have not. Now the XGP line is specifically made to look like or to fit American Fender stuff. So if you want to get something that's going to be easy to mount on an aftermarket product like a Warmoth or All Parts or WD baritone neck, I would suggest the XGP or XPG line because they're to American spec, and it should be just pretty much, if it's just Strat or Telly body, it should just slap on there and be fine. And I think if you do a little research, you may find that the offsets that they offer to that line are the same. But anyways, yeah, this guitar, 27.5 baritone. This is the 2011 model of the Aaron Turner, then guitar player for ISIS, current guitar player for Sumac. This issue is really interesting. Yeah, there's vintage spec pots and then standard spec pots, and sometimes it's not incredibly clear. You should be able to drill them out if it's too small, but I don't know. I have not had that issue, but I could see that being an issue. But yeah, anyways, 2007 Aaron Turner Signature Series. He used to have Telly style, like the T2 they call this. Sorry for the glare, but it's hard not to have a glare when it's made out of shiny aluminum. Yeah, the difference between his and mine, his was matte black in that era. No pickguard, completely matte black, and the pickup arrangement would be reversed on his. So his humbucker is in the neck, P90 in the bridge. Reaming him out seems like it's not that tricky. This guitar is wild because it's completely custom. I ordered the same specs as Aaron Turner, and actually, which you can't really see, but it's back. It's it's engraved back here, and it says that it's an Aaron Turner copy. It was made in the same run with his, but it has my name on there as well. Basically, just says that this is a one-off Aaron Turner that is different. So, and I even have the 5-position switch here, which is like the Paul Reed Smith knob. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that. Like the older McCarty's and like Custom 24s have this 5-way rotary switch on them instead of a traditional like toggle. And in hindsight, I feel like I probably could have been better off with the toggle, but this is what I went with because it's what Aaron had, and I'm a huge fan of Aaron Turner's playing and all the bands he's been in, so I wanted something that was uniquely my own, but also similar to what he was using. And anyways, custom guitars are cool. This guitar, when I got it, was less than $2,000, and I had an artist discount at the time, which they don't offer anymore, even to the bigger guys. If I would get it today, it's about $3,400. So I will probably never buy another one of this model. If I were going to get another EGC, which maybe I will down the line. At the moment, I'm really into building stuff, so the idea of ordering an EGC doesn't excite me that much. But if I were going to get another one, I would probably get kind of the same setup, but in a Series 5, which is their offset Jazzmaster or whatever, Jazzmaster shape. But I don't know. This one's perfect. Of the ones I've had, this is the one I'll always hang on to just because it's the most unique. Also, the thinnest neck I've ever owned. I don't know how well that translates, but it's tiny. Like, it's the thinnest neck I've ever owned and do own. And there's no change in the contour. So from here, to here is the same. I think it's like, if it changes, it's very little. I want to say it's like 0.60 to 0.63 or something. Like, it doesn't get or feel thicker until you get to right where it connects to the body, and it's pretty wild. It's a weird guitar to play because once you play it for a long time, because this is my main guitar for quite a few years in closed ash, that it made going to other guitars that weren't aluminum and weren't thin like this very tricky. And then I did eventually get a second one, but due to COVID, I had to sell it, which bums me out. But I still got this one. Nick, we should build the same guitar. Okay. Yeah, you want to do that through Guitar Fetish? I've toyed with the idea of ordering an entirely Guitar Fetish guitar, like ordering the neck or everything from them, bridges, pickups, just building it all, even just seeing what comes out of it. And I don't have them down here, but I've got a couple more things that I've just built, and they're great. I think my next thing is to build a bass. After that, I have an RD that I'm in the process of building too, but I got some hangups there because I don't have any money. Dude from Bong Ripper said the same thing about, that's the thing, man. So you get used to playing the aluminums, and it's hard to want to play anything else because there's a unique quality to the aluminum stuff, especially with baritone. So low notes and stuff on a baritone that's aluminum with the right pickup combination, there's a piano-like quality to the clean stuff and a grind element to distorted stuff that does not exist at all on purely wood guitars. That being said, recently I've kind of fallen in love with the roasted maple stuff or treated maple. So they're both cool. You just go through phases with all these things. So there's something I'll get into for a while and then be like, okay, well, I ran my almost 10-year course of EGC, and now I'm on to building things. But Nick, I would be way into doing it. I wonder if there's a way. We'll talk about this off the stream, but yeah, hit me up later. I have some ideas there, and I have just hit me up later. We'll talk about it. But yeah, man, Bong Ripper all day. Yes, exactly, Reed. I treat every guitar I own as a tool because I'm a tool, and I need tools to be a tool. So this SG, which hangs out in here, is one of the Kitty SGs, which I covered in a video where I went through all of the guitars we own, which was like 30 guitars or some ridiculousness. This is the Drop C D standard guitar. I use it for my guitar lessons a lot, and I also use D standard for the Ohio Foul stuff. So anything that's distorted ends up being this guitar. I don't know what's going on. Like, the wiring needs fixed on this guitar, so I got to get that done. But the Burstbucker, like, this is an OG 90s Burstbucker. It's one of the best sounding guitars ever. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, this guitar sounds amazing. There's a reason they've taken it on tour and used it on records for years, because it's just a spectacular sounding guitar. Also, super massive baseball neck, baseball bat neck. Not my thing, but play it long enough, it kind of becomes normal. Then you go play something like the EGC and it feels huge. So that guy's cool. The star of my show lately, and I don't really talk about it too much, but I'm getting into it because I'm excited about it. This is the best bass I've ever played or owned. And, I've played a lot of them. This is a G&L SB2. It is one of the most clear, resonant, and present bass guitars I've ever used. Can't say enough good things. So I realize we're just going off on weird, nonsensical tangents here, but name your own. Yeah, I will. I mean, it'll be something. I just don't want Tool fans to be associated with it, because I like the band Tool, but I don't want to be a fan. Anyways, yeah, G&L SB2. If you're in the market for a bass and you got about $500 to spend, can't recommend it enough. This is the Indonesian one, But the cool thing about the Indonesian SB2s is they use the American hardware. So you're getting the same American hardware that would be on the American guitar. You're getting the same pickups that would be in the American model. So the only thing that's different is where it was constructed. And it's just the most resonant thing ever, man. Like, it sounds good. Now, without getting into this, I think that's like one of the first things I ever talked to Nick Hill about. So this will be a bonding moment for all of us. If you don't know already, G&L is a product of Leo Fender, who started Fender guitars in the 50s. He left Fender at a certain point and then started Ernie Ball Music Man. So all of those iconic shapes that you know, the Stingray and all that stuff. And what's the other one? The big one? I don't know. Either way, he created all of those. He created those shapes. Yeah, it's his thing. He invented that whole thing, the humbucker pickup for the basses. That's his design. So Leo Fender, who is arguably the godfather of electric guitar, obviously people attribute Les Paul to that, and he does have a patent on some of it, but he had a patent on building this thing called the Log. The first actual solid body electric, the Broadcaster, was a Fender product, and Leo Fender is a genius. And I will say, in full embarrassment, I definitely worship at the altar of Leo Fender. And he's an innovator, and he was the original guy. But as time went on, sorry about all these glares and shit, he made some really iconic instruments. G&L was the last company he fronted and designed for. So all of the stuff at G&L is the last level of evolution in his design work. So arguably the best Fender products were G&L's, because they were the full vision of what he wanted to do. So the cool thing about these guys is the pickups are super unique. Right, not a great guitar player, not a guitar player at all, but he was an electronics genius. So these pickups are amazing. You can adjust the height of each bobbin to affect the strings differently. So that's something that's completely unique to G&L stuff. Obviously the P design is Fender. Leo Fender invented the P bass. He invented the jazz bass. So he's taking that information and making this kind of PJ style thing, but with these insanely adjustable and detailed pickups. All of the bridges for G&L stuff actually are recessed into the body. So there's more of a connection between the bridge, the strings, and the body and the neck. Like it all resonates as one thing, because the bridge itself, which is very high mass, it's the heaviest portion of the guitar, is actually in, like, what you can't see is it goes into the guitar about halfway. And it just creates a level of sustain. Like, there's a clarity to this bass just playing it acoustically that does not exist on any of the other basses I own. It actually makes me want to get another one of these and set up to be tuned super low, or get a 5-string. But yeah, man, like, if you're in the market for one, or you can find one used, go for it. They are some of the best basses. To answer your question, Reed, I tune that bass to D. It stays in D or C. It is there to be matched up. I really want to get one to do super low stuff. So the bridge is beefy as fuck. Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, if you are someone who has an affinity for creation and kind of the origin. So I think the thing that is appealing about those old school instruments is that, there's not much to them. They're simplistic, and they worked, and they sound, iconic. But then you take someone like Leo Fender, who invented the Broadcaster, which became the Telecaster, and ultimately the Stratocaster, Jazzmaster Jack, all these other things. Those are all Leo Fender designs. Then you look at the Ernie Ball product line and all those flagships that are a staple now. They're very standard stuff. And then you go later into G&L, and there are T-style, Strat-style stuff, offsets. They have an offset called the Doheny that's kind of a Jazzmaster. But super custom bridges, unique pickup designs, unique neck profiles, unique body shapes, just really innovative. The guitars are the same way. The mass of the bridge actually sits inside the wood, so there's a more of a connection to the resonance of the instrument that way. So can't say that enough. Awesome company. Definitely look into them. I've never done that. I'd imagine it's amazing. I use I don't know, man. I use both of those pickups. I have the high output low puncher, and I have the low output low puncher in a couple of guitars here, and they both sound great. Um, there is more in the low output little puncher. There's more of a traditional feel to it. Like it feels more like a Telecaster pickup. It still retains some of the um, twang and jangle of a Telecaster, for lack of a better term, if that makes sense. The higher output one gets more into traditional humbucker territory, and it kind of loses some of the single coil characteristic, if that makes sense. The 180 in the neck would be perfect. I will say I don't use the neck pickup very often on my purple build, and G&L do not have the same pocket measurements as Fender. They do not. They have a different thing. They might on some of the standard models, but some of the more expensive ones have like an offset thing. So just have to look into the particular model. Let's see. But yeah, I don't know, man. I have a Dream 180 in the neck of that purple guitar, and I rarely use the neck on it. I prefer a single coil in the neck, but I'm sure it would work just fine. No reason that it wouldn't. I'm sure it would be a nice combination. Uh, you know, just have to balance out the impedance and stuff to make sure that it's what you need. No, I answered that one. Okay. Dream 180s. They're my favorite guitar pickup in general. I'm sorry. Yeah, dude, it's like almost, it's after midnight there, isn't it? You can't hear the words. All right. Well, have a good night, Meat Puppet. Thanks so much for hanging out, and it's awesome to catch up with you and the rest of the crew here. I'll probably wrap it up here at 11:30, just to be safe. But anyways, have a good one, Meat Puppet, and I think Anthony left as well. Hey, Baritone Cult, Aaron in the house. That's all good, brother. I opened the show up talking about your new song, GAD or GAD, however you put it. But anyhow, man, you are at the front of this live stream, so hopefully some folks come find your video and check your music out. Good night, buddy. Let's see. Cool. Ernesto, they do make noiseless single coil pickups on Guitar Fetish. I've yet to try them. I actually do want to try them, and I want to put them, put a set of, or at least the bridge position in that telly that I have, because I want something that is more telly like. And that's the pickup that's in there is great. It still has a bit more of the humbuckery vibe that I would like for what that tool is intended for. For my use, I want it to sound like a telly, and I kind of been toying around with Nick Hill here doing some more like alt country Americana stuff for a project, and just there's something, a telly does the job, and there's something special about that. So I don't know. Try the noise canceling options, or if you want to spend a little bit more money, there's noise canceling pickups from other companies out there. But humbucker wise, I'm sure it will treat you well. Just make sure that whatever bridge you get, and all this, not make sure, but if you're someone who tends to use your bridge pickup more than your neck pickup, this may be self-explanatory, but if it's not, make sure that your neck pickup is a lower output than your bridge pickup, and if you're someone who uses the neck pickup more, vice versa. So whatever. Dude, I have no experience with their noiseless pickups. I imagine they're great. I think that using Earl Slick to do the demos was a poor choice, because he clearly seems intoxicated in those playthrough demos. And if he's not intoxicated, he's just a really sloppy player when it comes down to like him showing certain things. Like they kind of took the idea of a celebrity with him having been in what you call it. He was in Bowie's band, clearly a good guitar player, but the videos they did using him to demo their products are pretty atrocious. No offense, I love Guitar Fetish stuff. I always promote them, and I'm promoting them now. I think it's an amazing company that make great stuff. I just think they chose the wrong dude for that. But anyways, maybe he's not intoxicated. You're right. That's probably a fair assessment. Uh, Michael Kelly's are great. Fantastic company. Um, Patriots are cool. They're great guitars. Can't complain there. They used to be an almost purely stateside made. They were made in Cincinnati for a while. Michael Kelly stuff, or at least distributed through Cincinnati. Great guitars. I've only played a few of them. I've played one of the Bootsy Collins basses they make, which is hideous. It's like metal flames all over it. Played amazingly. Sounded great. Played a mandolin from Michael Kelly that was spectacular, but it was also over $1,000. And I've played a few of the Patriot baritones that have that ridiculous flame thing on them. They're great guitars. I got nothing bad to say about Michael Kelly stuff. They always made great stuff. Yeah, I think you'll be impressed, man. They're part like Michael Kelly, ESP, a few other things are kind of the one thing that like the reason Gibson was losing business for a while because all these other companies were making versions of those guitars or those guitar shapes that were just better guitars than spending $1,800 on a Les Paul. You could spend $700 at the time on a brand new Kelly Patriot, and it's going to be a better guitar, come with better hardware, come with better pickups, come with just better color options, and be a much cooler guitar. It doesn't say Gibson on it, but it's hands down a much better instrument. And I think that's part of what started the itch of them suing everyone that ultimately was almost the downfall of their company. That's awesome. Yeah, this all sounds cool. John Howe, thanks for joining in, buddy. Man, they make a lot of great stuff. I've never played any of their Tellys, but I'm a fan of the Telly body shape, so I'm sure they make an amazing product. A lot of nice finishes and veneers and stuff on those Michael Kelly instruments. If you're into that kind of flashy stuff, they make great looking guitars for that. Nothing bad to say. Great stuff. I wish that there's an era like when they first started getting into making baritones and stuff. They did some really silly stuff with some of the designs, with like making almost permanent hardware that is in odd shapes, so it's hard to replace, but it's also very telling of its era. Like the Patriot baritone and the Patriot standard from that year have that weird flame bridge, and it kind of looks like the Godsmack logo. It's a bad thing, and they shouldn't have done that, because I feel like those guitars would be a lot more useful to people if they didn't look so ridiculous. But you have to do a lot of cosmetic work to them to make them look normal, unless you like the flames. That's awesome, man. The one I have is a 74. I bought a legit 74 because at one point I had an actual old, like a little bit of early 90s Tele Custom, a black one. It was my favorite guitar for the longest time, and I parted with it also during COVID. I just had to get rid of some stuff, unfortunately. Great guitar, but it had that pickup in it, and I took it out of it and put it in this thing. So yeah, I don't know. It was from, I think it was a 74 or 70 somewhere. It's in the 70s. It was a real 74 pickup from, I believe it would have been a thin line or a Tele Deluxe of that. It's just the humbucker. I didn't have the custom. The Tele Custom I had was a 90s custom, but I got vintage pickups for it. But I know you'd have to look up the exact year or whatever, which it's in this guitar now. Some of the latter or the later Squire Fender stuff, even Fender stuff, when they started releasing things with the wide range in it, it wasn't actually a wide range. Um, it was like, you can look up. There's pictures of them online where they took a standard humbucker that Fender made and just did like the wax goop in the back of a wide range casing to make the standard humbucker fit in it, so it looks like a wide range, but it's actually a standard humbucker. Yeah, hit me up later, Nick. Thanks for being on. I'm going to shut it down here in the next 11:30, so 7 minutes. 7 minutes. I'll be shutting it down. Enjoy your peeing. Nice. Was it the Squire Paranormal, the P90 from the baritone, or which pickup did you get? Because some of those actually sounded great. The pickups that came in the Paranormal Telecaster baritone and the thin line they made are amazing. Okay. Retrotron, is it? Okay. Nice. Paranormal Telecaster. Yeah, those are great pickups, man. I sold my Paranormal baritone mostly because we just didn't play it. My wife and I have, I think, 8 or 9 baritones between the two of us. So she's got 2 of them. I have 6. I don't know, and the acoustic back there is a baritone. Yeah, nothing wrong with that guitar. It's a great guitar. It's cool that they put them out in better colors this year, and they're not making them such a limited run. Clearly, they did well. I think it's awesome that people can go buy a baritone easily and only spend a couple $100. I think that's amazing. Just not having the base plate. I didn't notice anything really affecting anything. I didn't notice any different. I thought they sounded great. No complaints. The whole Paranormal line in general is great. I've gotcha. I shielded mine, the whole thing. Like, I went in and shielded it. So I don't know. Any guitar I buy anymore, I've bought some. I think the lesson with this is I bought a couple guitars from Pure Salem a few years ago, and no shielding in them at all. They were like 700 plus guitar, and no shielding. So now every guitar I buy, I open it up and check the shielding, because I changed the strings from whatever comes on it, because usually stock strings are garbage anyway. So when I do the setup and initial thing, I take it all apart and make sure everything's in working order. But yeah, I agree with you, Reed. I wish there were more companies making an affordable baritone. I think, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, Fender right now is messing up not making another 30-inch product. Even just taking the neck, because they've repurposed the neck. The Squire Jazzmaster baritone is a bass 6 neck. It's just the same neck. They just put it on a different instrument and labeled it differently. It's literally the same thing. Same profile, everything. There's some minor differences aesthetically, but it's the same profile. So they already have it. They make it. They could just make more things with that neck on it. They already have the dimensions. They already have everything they need. They could literally make the bass 6 and put humbuckers in it. Like, it's crazy to me that that's not a thing, because there's such a demand for it. I'm not one of the folks that wants it. Like, I love my bass 6, but it's much more a utilitarian thing. It's a tool for me. I don't use it on everything. But I see where a lot of guys are doing like the super low, like bass territory, drop D and stuff. Cool. Not my thing necessarily, but there's such a demand for it right now, and it's popular enough right now that they would sell a ton of them. But Uh, yeah, that was either me or Nick Hill probably, because both of us have built that guitar. Because this guitar is that Warmoth neck, GFS body. Nick Hill did the same thing. He has a traditional headstock telly, non-roasted maple, but again, same type of thing, same body, everything. Anyway, great guitars. The neck is everything to me. If the neck is amazing, if the body will hold pickups, that's all you need. The rest of it's fine. Yeah, they would absolutely sell, even if it was just a trend thing and it sells for a little while. Okay, the whole thing is, I guess. Yeah, I love surf green. I have the guitar that's hanging up back there is surf green. The one I just showed you is tropical turquoise, which is like a darker version of that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of that color. Then I have like the pearloid, jade pearloid or whatever that Fender made for a while. I like weird green stuff. And purples and stuff. I don't know. Pretty much the color aesthetic of the YouTube channel here. I make things out of or into. Yeah, make your own guitar. That's what I do. Custom builds all day. It's fun. You can pick what you want. It's also significantly cheaper than paying a company to custom build something for you. If you have a luthier or someone around, have somebody around that knows their way around it and can do any of the actual fine work if you can't do it. That's the trick. Or just buy all the parts and take it to a local luthier to assemble would be the other solution. But man, being able to make whatever you want and completely customize something is awesome. There's a lot of great companies out there. I was just speaking highly of G&L, amazing stuff. But at the same time, you could build something. I wish there was a way to build something around the bridge design of G&L without a ton of custom work as far as like routing and stuff. But yeah, great stuff. Well, fellas, it is 1 minute till 11:30, and I plan to wrap it up at 11:30. So I appreciate the hang. It was a great time. It's always fun talking to all of you. John, thanks for joining the thing. I don't believe I've seen you on here before, so it's been awesome speaking to you as well. Been on here for about 2 hours, so I'm going to jump off. But yeah, great stuff. If you have any more questions or anything, please feel free to hit me up. Yeah, man. GNLs are great. Either way, any questions, concerns, things like that, if you need help with making purchase decisions on guitar fetish, any of that stuff, you just want to get some information, of course, you can always email me. I do consultation stuff too. If you want to learn about creating YouTube channels or mixing, mastering, all that stuff, you can hit me up for consultation. If you just want help with picking out the right stuff, anything that you want to talk about, you can schedule. I'm pointing the wrong way. You can schedule time with me through that. If you're interested in mixing and mastering, you can also hit me up at the same thing. So gearstuffandthings@gmail.com. And all the social media stuff at Gear Stuff and Things. TikTok, apparently with 2 Ks because I spelled it wrong. Instagram, Twitter. I am not very active on Twitter or TikTok, just being honest. Most of it is on Instagram. And beyond that, this has been Gear Stuff and Things. It's a great time hanging out with all of you. Hope you have a great weekend. Good talking to all of you. Reed, Anthony, Nick, John, everyone. Baritone Cult, Ernesto, Meat Puppet, all of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And I will try to do another stream. I'm going to try to do these at least once a week. So we will work it out. Thanks again, Ernesto. So yeah, just hit me up, Ernesto, if you have questions about picking stuff out. Just gearstuffandthings@gmail.com. Let me know what you're after, and we'll schedule a time to catch up, and we'll try to get you set on the right path. So until next time, everybody, it's me, you, Gear Stuff and Things. Have a good weekend.